Hello everyone, it is JT Cestkowski for Status Coup live outside of the Delaney Hall ICE prison camp in Newark, New Jersey. I am taking over for my boss, Jordan Sheridan, who has been on the ground along with the intrepid John Farina and Will Allen Dupras, who have been behind and in front of the cameras for some of that time. I do have to say that when the protesters heard that I was taking over for Jordan, a group of them said, and this is a quote, "Yay, Jordan gets a break." So that is felt out here by these protesters, probably felt by you at home. If this is something that you have not been tuned into from the very beginning, if you're missing some of that opening context, now is a fantastic time to be joining this stream because I am new out here. While I've been following it from a distance from my home in Wisconsin, I am now taking over for Jordan and am going to be learning the ropes of this ICE prison hellscape out here myself for the first time. So we'll be getting a lot of that context for what has been happening out here from the prisoners themselves. But what I want to quickly pivot to here is that there is speeches going on right now across the street that are being held by a black-led anti-colonial organization that is marking the 1-year anniversary of 4 Delaney Hall prisoners escaping from this facility. I was talking to some of the protesters about this. They use the phrase, and I like this because it doesn't buy into a lot of the right-wing framing around this. They use the phrasing of self-liberating, that there were 4 protesters who self-liberated from this prison camp 1 year ago. And at that time, we were live out here, John Farina was behind the camera, for the demonstrations that happened in support of those prisoners at the time. We're now observing it here as it's happening. We're about to go across the street and let you listen in on these prison camps. First thing I want to note, though, is that, again, if you're new to following along with what's been happening out here, the road out in front of Delaney Hall is a busy thoroughfare, and ICE agents will come out and push these protesters out into the street, into busy traffic, into trucks. We have gotten video ourselves of multiple protesters and press being hit by some of the vehicle traffic out here and run over. That's why you see me. I'm already decked out. I've got goggles here on my hip. I've got a helmet in my backpack, and I have got my respirator already around my neck, preparing for whatever force ICE might merit out here, because I'm anticipating that they are going to. John, if we can start to make our way across the street. I started to set that up because right now there have actually been a couple of ICE drones, at least I assume that they are ICE drones, that have already been up surveying the protesters, and this is a common happening out here. So this is the anti-colonial organization over here that is currently holding this event and doing some speeches, and I'm going to get close and let you listen in. Right now the protesters are cheering and breaking in the speeching for the honking of support from some of the trucks that have been driving by. They've been getting quite a bit of that in just a few minutes that I've been out here.
But this is not just about their violence. This is not just about the long nightmare of racial, colonial, and imperialist violence. This is also about our fight back, about their fight back. And as soon as the workers in this city and in this state and in this country understand that it is right to rebel, it won't just be Geo Group that goes to hell. It'll be ICE. It'll be the Monroe Doctrine. It'll be the Don Road Doctrine. It'll be this U.S. settler colonial state that Malcolm X said was a prison in and of itself.
That's right.
He said America is a prison. So whenever they bust out, they're busting out into a prison. So now what are we going to do whenever they do bust out? We have to remember that it is right to rebel. It is right to rebel. It is right to rebel. I'm going to close because I can be long-winded, I know.
Are you good?
Asada ended the next stanza of that poem. She says this: I believe in living Y'all say that with me. I believe in living. I believe in birth.
I believe in birth.
I believe in the sweat of love.
I believe in the sweat of love.
And in the fire of truth.
And in the fire of truth.
This place lives on lies and death.
That's right.
That's why a Haitian man, a Haitian father, John Wilson Brutus, is no longer with us.
That's right.
But if you believe in living, if you believe in birth, if you believe in the sweat of love and the fire of truth, then we have to remember and join in solidarity with these people and everybody who's watching me in Newark, everybody who's watching me in New Jersey, all Africans in this country, all workers in this country. We must unite, we must rebel, because all of these systems that are killing us must go to hell so that we can have peace.
That's right.
Thank
Fuck Delaney Hall.
Fuck Delaney Hall!
Fuck Delaney Hall.
Fuck Delaney Hall!
Fuck Delaney Hall.
Fuck Delaney Hall!
Fuck Delaney Hall.
Thank you, comrade.
Shut it the fuck down.
Shut it the fuck down!
Shut it the fuck down.
Shut it the fuck down!
Shut it the fuck down.
Thank you, Comrade JP. In the Black Alliance for Peace, we have a saying that we like to say. Oppression breeds resistance. Organization sustains it. And like JP was saying, it's a protracted struggle. We must build organization. We must build unity so that we can not only shut Delaney down, but to shut all these cages down.
That's right.
So I want y'all to say it with me. Repeat after me. Oppression breeds resistance.
Oppression breeds resistance.
Organization sustains it.
Organization sustains it.
Oppression breeds resistance.
Oppression breeds resistance.
Organization sustains it.
Organization sustains it.
So we're going to keep our program going. I have a comrade from the Diaspora Palante Collective that will be speaking. So please give him a hand. Come on, comrade. Free the prisoners, free them all.
Free the prisoners, free them all.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Buenas noches, comrades.
Buenas noches.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm with an organization called the Diaspora Palante Collective. We are an anti-imperialist, socialist, Puerto Rican diaspora collective fighting for the independence of our nation against the U.S. colonial empire and its colonial grasp.
That's right.
That's right. We stand here today in solidarity with our oppressed sisters and brothers that are locked away in this detention hall.
The mic's not working.
Not working. Can you hear me now?
It's just your voice. It's just your voice.
Can you hear me now? Yeah?
You gotta pull it close to you. You gotta
All
put it
right,
on the
let's
mask
try it.
grill.
How about now?
There we go.
There we go. All right. We stand here today in solidarity with our oppressed sisters and brothers who are locked away in this detention center. Our people are being victimized. They're being brutalized. We are at war. Yet, despite these attacks, despite these indignations and this violence, our people are still struggling today. And we stand here to stand in solidarity with them in that struggle. 1 year ago today, this same detention center, 4 people liberated themselves. They said enough. That's right. They took their freedom back.
They rebelled. They broke down these walls. They showed us that it's possible to fight back against a fascist system. That's not small. That's a spark. And we're here today to honor that spark and continue to add fuel to that fire so that we can continue to ignite the flames of revolution at this detention center and all across the nation.
That's right.
And the world. That's right. But let us be clear. The system has not been burnt down. We're still here today. Delaney Hall still stands today. Okay. They're always watching us. It's still good? Or you got me? All right. The conditions are brutal. The police are still brutal. ICE and New Jersey State Police are still brutalizing detention center detainees and protesters out here, showing solidarity for them. And there are still detainees fighting to be treated as human beings. They are striking right now, not just here in Delaney Hall, but across the nation. In Adelanto, in Prairieland, in LaSalle. We're not standing just for the ones in Delaney Hall, we're standing there for all of them.
Right. That's right.
In response to the strike, the police, the DHS, ICE have been doing nothing but beating prisoners, forcing them to sign self-deportation letters, and brutalizing them in unimaginable conditions. Outside, they've been shooting tear gas at us, they've been shooting us with rubber bullets, with batons, and they've been violating our rights. Banning masks, banning bags. What do we come to as a nation that claims to believe in freedom? This isn't freedom. We're not free. When we talk about collective struggle, we're not being abstract. We're talking about community members in our own communities. We're talking about people we know who are being victimized, who are being profiled by these ICE thugs and these fascists. This is about our people, our families, and our community. That's why we fight for all of us oppressed people. Black, Latine, Asians, all workers, and all immigrants. Whether you've been detained or whether you're a generation out, it does not matter. This impacts all of us.
That's right.
Listen.
So tonight we make space for our community, which has been subjected to the most brutal violence that we have seen in years. These violent tactics have torn families apart. They've ruined people's lives. They've ruined children's lives. No more. Our people are not criminals. They do not deserve to be treated as criminals. We are human beings, and we deserve the same respect as every single human being does.
That's right.
One year ago today, 4 people said "Ya basta," and they liberated themselves by breaking down these walls. Today, now it's our turn today to say it again. And again until there's no more Delaney Hall. Ya basta! Ya basta! Ya basta! Down with these ICE, DHS, and state thugs terrorizing our communities. Down with the fascist state who's erecting these concentration camps all over the country. And not just these concentration camps, but these prisons, local, state, and federal prisons, where they're brutalizing our detainees and our political prisoners. Free them all!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Thank you.
Testing, testing. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Appreciate whoever got this. Thank you, Comrade Nick. I appreciate it. One thing that he specifically said, He said that this is war.
Yeah.
We must understand this. The captives inside are prisoners of war. The captives inside of Essex County Correctional Facility are prisoners of war. We must understand that this state, the settler colonial state, is at war with us. And so, we must build accordingly. Free the prisoners, free them all. Shut down Delaney Hall.
Free the prisoners, free them all. Shut down Delaney Hall.
Free the prisoners, free them all. Shut down Delaney Hall.
Free the prisoners, free them all. Shut down Delaney Hall.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
ICE, ICE, go to hell.
ICE, ICE, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
DHS, go to hell.
DHS, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
State police, go to hell.
State police, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Delaney Hall, go to hell.
Delaney Hall, go to hell.
All right, so it's time for our next speaker. Another comrade with the Black Alliance for Peace. Please give it up for Comrade John. Free the prisoners, free them all.
Free the prisoners, free them all.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Peace, comrades. My name is John. I'm with the Black Alliance for Peace, New Jersey, New York Citywide Alliance. My comrades before me spoke of the ongoing labor and hunger strike inside and the one-year anniversary of the Delaney Hall uprising. There are some misconceptions across Newark that these actions do not matter and they're not relevant to the black folks here in Newark. I'm here to smash these misconceptions. On February 25th, earlier this year, ICE was in pursuit of someone on Clinton Avenue in Newark. Because of this reckless pursuit, ICE caused the person that were in the pursuit to crash into two other vehicles. Those vehicles had children inside, two 15-year-olds and a 12-year-old, causing injury and sending them to the hospital. The presence of ICE does not only put quote-unquote immigrants in danger, it puts quote-unquote citizens in danger too.
That's right. Everyone.
On January 19th, 2026, Wally Bay, known to his family, friends, and community members as Grills, was shot and killed by Newark Police Officer Nasheed Reynolds in Newark southbound.
That's right.
Shame. Bay and a close friend were in a van when multiple undercover police officers approached the vehicle. Officer Reynolds fired his gun into the van, killing Bay and wounding his friend. Shame.
Shame.
I want to focus on this word, undercovers. What does this remind you of? It reminds me of the undercover ICE agents that are roaming around the country. These two agencies are intimately connected. You can't spell police without ICE. Both parties are two sides of the same coin. ICE is used to control black and brown immigrants, while police is used to control black and brown quote-unquote citizens.
That's right.
We must not also forget about the monstrosity right next to Delaney Hall, infamously known as the Green Monster.
That's right.
By those in Essex County Correctional Facility serves as a detention facility for quote-unquote citizens in and around Newark. The histories of the Delaney Hall and the Essex County County facility are intimately connected.
That's right.
Delaney opened in 2000 as a halfway house and actually detained quote-unquote citizens at first. Once Essex County Correctional Facility opened in 2004, those inside Delaney were held there with overflow and still being held at Delaney Hall. Since their openings, both facilities have held immigrant detainees, quote-unquote criminal inmates, and individuals in residential rehabilitation. Both facilities have had reports of medical neglect, contaminated food, and unexplainable deaths. Shame.
Shame.
The ease as to which the purpose of each facility changes to the whim of the state and should alert us that we should be against both facilities.
That's right.
They can easily use Delaney Hall to detain us quote-unquote citizens, and they could easily use Essex County Correctional Facility to detain us quote-unquote immigrants. This is why the struggle against Delaney Hall must be situated amongst a longer struggle for liberation.
That's right.
Removing Delaney Hall is pivotal for the black and brown liberation.
That's right.
Removing Essex County Correctional Facility is pivotal for black and brown liberation.
That's right.
These struggles must be connected. We must expand the terrain of struggle so we can continue to build and strengthen our movements. We must be in solidarity with one another to achieve our liberation. The billions of dollars poured into Geo Group to operate Delaney Hall and to build the Green Monster do not serve us. The people of Newark, the people of Essex County, the people of New Jersey did not decide this. So we must resist. We must rebel.
Yes.
We must build powerful organizations to shut down these facilities. We can collectively decide what to do to ensure that our people are safe, that our people are fed, that our people are housed. We do not need lackluster politicians.
That's right.
And we for sure don't need Geo Group.
That's right.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Geo Group, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Geo Group, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Green Monster, go to hell.
Green Monster, go to hell.
No compromise, no retreat.
John right now is going to point the camera at the prison that these demonstrators are talking about right now, trying to draw connections between the federal prison system here that we are building, a prison camp here in plain sight, a concentration camp in this country directly next to what they're calling the Green Monster, which is the local prison system as well.
What is happening here? We must understand this. There are violences by the state, not just here, but across Newark, across New Jersey, across the world. They're all used to control us and to gain their capitalist profit. But as my comrade said, we must resist. We must rebel. Free the prisoners, free them all.
Free the prisoners, free them all.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Free the prisoners, free them all.
Free the prisoners, free them all.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
Shut down Delaney Hall.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Geo Group, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
another speaker to come up. This is going to be a speech, a combined speech with the families. We worked with a couple of families who have folks inside to make this combined speech, to speak about the struggle. And so my comrades, and please come up to read this speech. Please give them a hand.
We're going to be pointing the camera down for this next speaker because he specifically came over and asked that he not be made identifiable on our stream.
I'm going to read a statement, a collective statement from some of the organizers of this event, including my comrade here with me.
Hi everyone, I'm Raja.
And some of the family members of people detained inside. We are a multiracial group of residents who live in Newark, along with women who recently had family members unjustly held in Delaney Hall Detention Center. We are moved by the courage, will, and strength of detainees inside. It inspires us to further organize ourselves, to shut down Delaney Hall, free those inside, and take down the broader injustices happening everywhere. Although taking place in different parts of the world, we understand the material conditions we've all faced leading up to this moment to reflect two sides of the same system. For those of us with family members held at Delaney, our stories must be contextualized within the conditions we face in our home countries. For us, that is Peru and Ecuador. In Peru, one of us has witnessed firsthand how organized crime has taken over Peruvian communities, extorting small businesses, construction companies, public transportation, and even the most impoverished workers selling trinkets on the street. Those who don't comply with these criminal organizations are killed. One of us was a student in Ecuador with a small business and was threatened to pay cartels $500 a week, which is the equivalent of the average monthly income. If we don't pay, they ransack our businesses or kill us. All of this has escalated to the economic crises in our countries, making it hard to find sustainable work and our safety if you're not connected to someone in power. These conditions lock our people in a state of deep instability. Capitalists collude with the state and criminal organizations to exploit our situation by suppressing wages and sowing division among workers. In Ecuador, before the wave of immigration swelled in the last 5 years, the wage was $10 a day. But the influx of migrant workers from neighboring countries willing to accept lower wages has forced migrant and domestic workers to compete over jobs, while international bosses and their local partners struggle to make more money. This kind of destabilization does not take place just naturally. There are internal and external forces responsible for the detaining of our community members in Delaney Hall and in our home countries. U.S. sanctions on countries like Cuba and Venezuela have violently escalated economic instability throughout the entire Latin American region, resulting in a snowball effect that keeps the working class masses trapped in cycles of displacement and economic hardship. This is carried out in the interest of the international ruling class and on the backs of the international working class.
Right.
Many of us come here because we want the freedom to make a living and because we deserve to live dignified lives. But contrary to what the American dream promises, our families locked inside Delaney Hall have been criminalized, caged, and disappeared. The U.S. wants us to respect its laws, but it's not respecting us. And this is done by the same forces benefiting from the man-made conditions in our homeland. We understand that these same cycles of violence are carried out domestically within the U.S. as well.
Some of the
In the city of Newark, the organized crime we face takes
right now, John is showing you some of the vehicles leaving from Delaney Hall, and some of the protesters are going over there to challenge the vehicles coming out. We just heard a call out for a medic, so we're not sure if...
Why are you feeding them food with maggots? Why are you feeding them food with maggots?
Putting people in for their fucking job. Because of what they fucking did, what they were fucking accountable for.
Okay, watch out for that car.
Someday there will be accountability. Fuck you.
Fuck you, asshole!
Fuck you!
Dude. You almost just caused an accident.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drive like a street car. You are one.
The guy in the car had gotten out to tell the protesters that he wasn't with ICE, he was with Geo Group, but of course Geo Group is the private corporation that runs the Delaney Hall ICE prison camp. But of course the protesters then just made the point that they would like to see the Geo Group employees quit their jobs, and you saw some of the protesters there even throwing kicks at the car.
The other half of the developers in Newark are capitalist giants like Amazon, Audible, Lionsgate Studios, and Prudential that say they are bringing more jobs to the residents of the city. But instead, they are displacing residents while forcing workers inside and outside the city into a racist fight over these jobs. Just like in countries like Peru and Ecuador, workers in Newark too are forced into jobs with lower wages or underemployment. Lower wages for many of us means having to constantly choose between paying groceries, paying rent, or transportation to work. Furthermore, our communities are criminalized by police, tasked by the developers in partnership with the politicians to clean up the streets by disappearing the most impoverished workers to make new developments, quote-unquote, more attractive. Shame! These pressures, along with the anti-immigrant racism blasted to deeply alienated workers, has won many of all backgrounds to become the overseers in detention centers like Delaney Hall in exchange for a stable wage. Delaney Hall, one of many concentration camps run by ICE, has provoked women to have miscarriages, has forced migrant workers inside to withhold simple requests for health care and basic human treatment out of the fear of being put in isolation. Among three of us who helped create this speech, we count at least half a dozen family members who have gone through this torturous system of detention. Some of those family members have been deported. Others, we fought to be released with the solidarity of workers like you outside of Delaney. And some are still caged or are in danger of deportation. For every elder, young person, health compromised migrant we have collectively pressured ICE to release, in the last few weeks, ICE has equally advanced both legal and extra-legal tools to amass violent, unchecked power. A lot of our immigrant brothers and sisters have discovered the habeas corpus, a law that challenges wrongful detentions, could be leveraged to temporarily get family members out of detention centers. In response, ICE is more aggressively sending detainees to places with more racist courts like Texas and Louisiana, where habeas corpus is less likely to be granted. More than that, detainees inside Delaney have reported that fascist guards have casual conversations about transferring detainees despite acknowledging that they have habeas corpus. Shame! A Mexican mother told one of us that despite her 19-year-old son being granted habeas corpus, he was still transferred to a detention center in Georgia. Shame!
These are just a few examples of the extensive measures ICE is taking to keep our communities incarcerated. As our comrade who spoke before us mentioned, the police and ICE, Delaney Hall and Essex County Jail, these institutions serve interrelated purposes. They function as military arms of the state. Although the name of the forces may vary, the result is the same. Whether you're an immigrant fleeing capitalist-induced crisis in countries outside the U.S. or citizens in Newark being displaced and criminalized, domestically, the state response is the same. Cage the poor, advance imperialist wars. We are here today to say no more. No more. No more. No more. No more. We know that our most powerful weapon to defend ourselves from these fascist conditions is our multiracial unity. We can all see from the actions taking place at Delaney Hall and all throughout this country that neither citizenship nor one's essential humanity rewards safety from these violent systems. It is only through unity and organized struggle that we can participate in the society-wide transformation that we need to secure our people's human rights. May this fight against Delaney Hall unite us so that we're even more equipped to end injustices everywhere. Woo! So I just want to end with this chant. Asian, Latin, black and white.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
Same enemy, same fight.
Same enemy, same fight.
Arab, Jewish, black and white.
Arab, Jewish, black and white.
Workers of the world unite.
Workers of the world unite.
Thank you, comrade. I really appreciate the points that were made about workers. And we know there are workers inside here as well. And so, to speak to y'all, I hope y'all hear us. Hear our chant. Because it is right to rebel. You can rebel.
All right, everybody, we're just moving back across the street here. I'm going to reset, give you all, for everybody new who's joined, because we've been watching our numbers on the stream grow across our various platforms. I'm going to let us reset here, and John is going to take a minute to reset our microphone as well. So you might lose audio for just a moment. That is by design. It'll come back very shortly thereafter. So John, just give me the heads up when you finally get to that point so that I am not flapping my gums here, with nothing for you guys. So it sounds like we're going to cut the audio real quick, reset it. We'll be back in just a second. Check. All right. Our audio issues should hopefully be fixed here, so you guys aren't getting that occasional burst of static that we were getting while we were initially live there. But just to reset here, we are outside of the Delaney Hall ICE prison camp in Newark, New Jersey. This is day 21 of a hunger and labor strike, and it is humid out here, which is why John is currently wiping down the camera lens. That is a rare John Farina appearance on the camera, just his finger there wrapped up in his T-shirt to clean off our camera lens with our very sophisticated technologies that we have here at Status Coup to keep our camera gear functioning. But yes, this is the Delaney Hall ICE detention camp. Day 21 of a hunger and labor strike over conditions inside of this camp. And if you're just coming into this now or just in the last few days, my God, I'm new here on the ground as well. And if you support the fact that we have been on the ground here now for weeks, going back to the beginning and even before this hunger and labor strike began here at Delaney Hall, please go to statuscoup.com/join. We are reliant on our members to keep us here on the ground, reporting on everything that is going on from a ground level view, on the ground perspective, getting close to the action. We don't shy away from it like other media entities do. We put ourselves on the line, and we try to give you that unvarnished look at what is actually happening, not only with Delaney Hall here, but across all of the Trump administration, Trump 2.0 here. We have been on the ground in place after place, city after city that has been directly victimized by the Trump administration. That is why we are out here, is to continue that coverage. We have lived on the ground in these places for weeks, for months on end, and we've only been able to do that through the support of our members. If you are a member, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're who allows me to be here. You helped me afford the plane ticket to be out here, the hotel room that I need to stay out here, and all of the gear that we need, the food that I need to eat in order to sustain myself out here, and the list of things that go on in order to be able to fund and sustain our on-the-ground reporting efforts. So if this on-the-ground perspective is important to you, again, statuscoup.com/join. We had jumped across the street just to reset that microphone so that it wasn't happening in the middle of those speeches. But John, I'd like to go back over and show some of these speeches, which again are to observe a 1-year anniversary of 4 detainees inside of this prison camp self-liberating, as the protesters have so aptly described it, or escaping from the Delaney Hall ICE Detention Center.
It needs inequality. It was founded on inequality. Absolutely. Unequal exchange is the absolute foundation of capitalism. So that's why it has to be destroyed, ultimately. But I want to go back to the World War II veterans, because I want to make the observation. In Germany, 20 million Germans died during World War II. 20 million. Wasted lives fighting to advance or to crush the Soviet Union at that time. What I'm here to tell you is that they're building these prisons and these camps all over the country with the intention of filling them up with people. And I'm here to tell you that this is a reflection of the decadence of the system. It's not a reflection of strength. It is a reflection of weakness. And I say to you, if you know anything about history at all, that just as the Red Army crushed the Nazi Wehrmacht during World War II, the Red Army in these United States will crush the fascists and the Nazis that run this government and this system. They will do it. It will take time. I won't live to see it. But some of you may well see it. The necessity for it is rising. It is intensifying. It is increasing. And you know, I've been through a number of, I've seen mass movements. And I'm telling you now that it's not only here, but it's everywhere. People are rising up. They're rising up against this racism. They're rising up against this system. They're rising up against sexism. They're rising up against the attempt to just drive us all the way back. They're rising up, and I assure you that we shall prevail. Now, one thing I do want to say is, who's got challenge out here? Give me the challenge, please. Give me a challenge. Let's give you a little bit more of my history here. 1968, that's the first time I came across this paper. I was on strike. I was a bus driver in the city of Chicago. It was a strike against racism. We should distribute this paper out here broadly and widely, because this paper brings you the news of revolutionary communism. That's what it does. So I urge you, take a copy of it, glance through it, read it, and get in touch with us. Thank you very much. Woo!
I appreciate the OG coming out here. I don't know, I think they're saying something over here to us, so I think we need to get chanting again.
Right.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
GO Group, go to hell.
GO Group, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
GO Group, go to hell.
GO Group, go to hell.
John makes a good point. Something that I should point out here is that just through this fence, there are two different groups of security here. There are ICE agents, to be sure, that will come out and they will brutalize these protesters, especially as we get closer to 10 o'clock Eastern time. So as you watch the time on your phone or on your computer, pay attention to that 10 o'clock time, because that's generally when there's a shift change out here. The protesters try to challenge those GO Group workers as they come out and in, and ICE will really try to lay down the law in the way that they really like to, which is just inflicting violence on these protesters, as the protesters just try and block and make more difficult the GO Group employees leaving. But aside from the ICE agents, there are also GO Group security guards here as well. And they talk shit to the protesters. They don't mince words. They will, I was here just my first 5 minutes here on the ground, and I was already hearing one security person. We could not see them because through this fence, there's a second fence that also has some covering over it, so you cannot see inside the facility. So you can't see the guards who are standing there, but you can hear them. And just in the 5 minutes I was here on the ground, I was hearing them making sexually derogatory remarks towards some of the protesters out here, including one woman that they were referring to as their girlfriend, and talking about doing various sex acts with them. So that's the kind of decorum that they are treating these fellow human beings, these ICE protesters out here with, not seeing them as humans, just denigrating them. And you'll see that the protesters will kind of yell, you know, they'll tease the GO Group the GO Group security guards here, and then the security guards come back with all of that. So we're going to turn back here, come back into this action here, John. We'll listen back again. I do just want to say I was seeing the love from all of you in chat. And if you're in our YouTube chat, I want to thank you for being along with us and for welcoming me back here on the stream. You all are very kind. John and I appreciate all of the good words. And if you're not, please drop a like on the stream and share it to get the word out about this stream, because YouTube, X, all of the platforms, Facebook that we stream on, go out of their way to limit our streaming and try and make sure that this message does not get out to people. And the only way we can overcome that is by sending an overwhelming message to the algorithm. So either a like or a share goes a long way for us. Thank you so much. And then, of course, please engage with us here in the chat. And if you can, send a super chat. That is a great way to support us as well. And I'm going to get back to super chats here in a little bit. And Colin, producer Colin, if you are listening right now, I'll send you a text as well. But please send me the super chats here as we get them, and I'll try to respond to them as they come through, because my YouTube chat history only goes back so far, and I do want to be engaging with you guys here as we stream.
So boycott the World Cup. We have no problems with the beautiful game. We love the beautiful game. But the imperialists are trying to colonize the beautiful game. And we will not allow that. The U.S. has terrorized the communities here, has put aggression against Cuba, against Venezuela, against Haiti, against Palestine.
That's right. Iran.
And we say no. We say boycott the World Cup.
Boycott the World Cup.
The United States is not safe for folks to come. Shit, it's not even safe for us to be here. As we've already seen, folks have even been denied entry to even go to the games. Omar Artan, a Somalian referee, was denied entry to go to the games. Despite Haiti qualifying for the World Cup, folks in Haiti are not allowed to go to the games. The Iranian national team, despite qualifying for the World Cup, is not allowed to stay inside the U.S. We reject this. We say boycott the World Cup.
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 And us at the Black Alliance for Peace do not want to just stop there. We understand that even when the World Cup leaves this country, we will still be under capitalism. We will still be under oppression. That is why we want to take this a step further. We are calling on the international community to boycott the U.S.
Boycott the U.S.
We are calling for a BDS movement against the U.S. We will not allow monstrosities like Delaney, like the Green Monster, like ICE terrorizing our communities. We say no.
No.
So we say boycott the World Cup.
Boycott the World Cup.
Boycott FIFA.
Boycott FIFA.
And boycott the U.S.
Boycott the U.S.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Geo Group, go to hell.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Geo.
It is right to rebel.
It is right to rebel.
Geo Group, go to hell.
Now good time. Cord?
Yeah, pleasure.
Discord. Nice to meet you.
The road. Yeah, let's just bring it in over here.
Yeah. It's all right, John. We're here. All right. So I'm standing here with Discord. We wanted to get to some of the interviews of some of the protesters out here. We're also going to be interviewing some of the organizers of this event as well. But I'm standing here with Discord.
Discord, yes.
Thank you for being with me, Discord. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here and covering this.
Yeah, of course. No, I got it.
Okay, appreciate it.
I was I pulled you out of the crowd. I mean, I don't think it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you kind of you draw a little bit of attention to yourself here.
I'm bringing a vibe today. I mean, I feel like right now we kind of need to, as much as we can, attract as much attention as we can bring to this. It's ridiculous what's happening, so we should bring the absurdity. Honestly, we need more of it. We need more people out here. This isn't enough. There's a concentration camp in a city near you. And if that's the case, what the fuck are you doing on the couch?
Let's dive into that first before we start talking about the absurdity, the message that you've got here on your sign. We'll leave that as a little bit of a tease for the audience here to stick around to hear you talk about that. But I want to start with that desire to see more people out here.
Yes.
To what end? What does bringing more people out here into these streets out here in Newark, New Jersey feel like it gets you? Like, what is the end that you are working towards, that you want to achieve?
I feel like the end is that every single day the people here have to reflect upon what they're doing in there. Because what's happening in there is completely inhumane. And they need to see that. And they need to see the reflection of that in all of our faces and all of our eyes. And they need to see all of New Jersey coming out for this shit. A lot of these people that are here have been flown in. They're not from New Jersey. We're from New Jersey. I'm 20 minutes out. I'm going to be here every single day. It's a concentration camp. Every day I can get out here, I'm going to be out here using my voice, using my freedom of speech. Our freedom of speech zone, that's a fucking joke. Our country is a freedom of speech zone, and we shouldn't have that compromised.
How many days have you been coming out here, Discord?
Pretty much since Memorial Day.
Since Memorial Day, so...
It take break days, of course. You know, there's some people that are constant. And those people, you know, I really commend. But, you know, it's nothing compared to what's going on in there. That's going to be constant as long as we don't shut this down. So we need more and more people out here just demanding for that. Because the people in there, the people that are doing this...
By this, you're referring to the hunger and labor strike?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a strike. Because honestly, they're getting fed garbage food. Food that is... It's inhumane, again, to be treating these people with this sort of insanitary conditions and then not giving them medical care, not giving them proper food, not giving them proper treatment throughout the entire process. And if that's going to be the case, we have to be out here changing that. I mean, and these people that are in there, they have to see us out here reflecting the want for that change.
And we've seen the protesters inside, or not inside, excuse me, the detainees inside sending messages in the way that they can out here through like the flashing of lights. When you see that, what are you feeling? Like, what do you feel like is the message that they're trying to deliver to you from inside the prison camp?
Well, they see the solidarity, which is what they need to keep seeing, and they need to see more and more of the solidarity because it gives them hope and allows them to keep on struggling through these horrendous conditions. You know, because regardless of a strike or not, they're going to be suffering through that. You know, they're going to be forced to work. They're going to be forced to endure these awful, disgusting, moldy, maggot-filled meals. That's disgusting. It should never, no human should be treated that way. And so, sorry.
No, you're fine, man.
I did want to say though that when the people there are giving us a show of solidarity and are showing that they see us, unfortunately, they get retaliated against for that. And so it's really tough to want to give them that love and then know that they're also going to be treated inversely, horribly by these prison guards, these concentration camp guards. And so that's something that we need to kind of change in some sort of way. We need to give them some sort of other hope. You know, we can bring them, I think, music, peace, something in there to be entertained by for a moment. And that's something that really disappoints me, is that I don't see enough artists out here. Every once in a while I see it happen. People will bring their instruments, a PA system or two. But we need, like, real artists out here, real progressive artists. I mean, we have Kendrick Lamar, we have Rage Against the Machine, we have System of a Down. I mean, this is the System of a Down. We need these people out here putting on whatever kind of show they possibly can, even if it's on a shitty little PA system. Because if they come out here and they tell their followers to come, we'll actually have Doramus filled up by people and not police. Because that's what happens inversely, is that the police come in here and they push us out and they tell us what our freedom of speech zone is. And that's bullshit. We the people determine what that is.
Well, I've really seen the protesters score a real win. I mean, you make reference here to Doramus. That's the name of the street here that we're standing on, that you end up protesting all along here, and you're talking about filling that with people. You don't want police, local and state police, moving you out of here, telling you where you can and cannot exercise your First Amendment rights. I've seen,
peacefully.
Yeah, especially peacefully. To that end, protesters seem like they struck a real win. I've been in Chicago on the ground for 2 months. I was on the ground for 2 months in Minneapolis, and I saw the same patterns play out there that I saw play out here, which is that state and local police interpose themselves between the protesters and ICE. You seem to have broken out of that cycle of the state and local government interposing itself, because you actually have seemingly gotten the local police to at least, you know, in a visible sense, pull back, allowing you to still be out here protesting directly against Geo Group and ICE inside. To what do you attribute that victory?
Unfortunately, their own violence, and having it seen by people like you. We need more reporters out here watching this, because we're all peaceful and they are imposing horrendous violence upon us as well as they are in there. I mean, it's much worse in there, but over here we're getting maced every day, we're getting beaten every day, we're getting rammed with cars. The night that they stopped bringing the police out, multiple people were rammed multiple times that night while trying to just peacefully stand and hold down their rights. And then not only that, we had people thrown to the ground that night. There was a young man watching the scene, reporting on it, that was thrown directly into a truck, head first. I ran over to that poor kid, and he stood up, and, you know, I asked him if he needed a medic, screamed for a medic, and, you know, the kid just so shocked, just had no idea that that could ever happen to him in a situation where he's just peacefully observing. And nor should he. This is a country where we allegedly stand on these promises. And these promises are broken. And that's what's wrong with this country, is it's a broken promised land founded upon the backs of amazing people that have been oppressed by its own country this entire time. And that's the broken promise that we need to somehow correct. And that's only going to be corrected with we the people, not with the police. It's got to be us out here using our voice. And it should be everybody. If there's a freedom of speech zone, we should have all these 2A people out here protecting the 1A. What's happened with that? Where are all these MAGA people now?
I want to underscore that. The idea that you always hear in those first or those Second Amendment folks who are always talking about the importance of the Second Amendment. I have the Second Amendment, or I exercise the Second Amendment to protect the First. Yeah, where are those people out here when the First Amendment is under assault, is under attack, when protesters are not being allowed to protest like this, just doing chants as they are right now? Free them all. Free them all. And I also want to underline what you pointed out about press not being out here, not to the degree that it is warranted. There is a concentration camp that exists in plain view here in the United States of America. And yet, I don't even see local press out here. This is the biggest story happening in the Newark area. Where are the local TV cameras? Where are the local reporters? The only people that are out here, myself and John for Status Coup, a couple of other independent streamers and photographers. That's it.
And people from New Jersey are out here. And if you guys aren't out here, we don't have eyes on us when true violence goes down. And we need that. We need them to be held accountable someday. We need you guys to be watching this and recording this. As much as we're on camera, as much as our faces are out there, we need as much information about this out there. Because someday the fucking worm will turn. We'll fucking be on the other side of this.
Yeah. Now let's, hard turn here, but I want to talk about what you're wearing. So, real hard turn. But let's start with just you reading off what's on your sign, and then explaining kind of your get up and why this was the message you wanted to bring today.
All right. Well, me and a lot of our comrades here have been out night after night throughout a variety of different crazy weather conditions. You know, even today, thunderstorms and everything, and it's starting to get hot out here. And as it gets hot, we need more and more people getting outside, being active, and joining us. And so the message is to join us so that we can melt the ice and maybe build a community pool. Wouldn't that be a great promise to bring America?
Melt ice and build community pools, and instead...
The melting pot. Let's do that. Let's make the community pool out of the melting pot, and let's melt this ice and let people exist freely in this country. And enjoy what that means. Enjoy the freedom that means, and enjoy the expression that means.
And I know that you earlier mentioned the importance of absurdity. I don't know if that was exactly the word that you used, but something to that effect. And that's a theme that I've heard play out at other protests in these other cities that have been directly targeted by the Trump administration. This desire to show nonviolence by bringing the absurdity. A lot of times we've seen it in the big inflatable costumes. I mean, you're doing like a version of that here.
I am, yeah.
So how much about this is like showing non-violence, about saying how could I be a violent rioter, the way that these demonstrations are often portrayed, when you're wearing an inflatable flamingo around your waist.
Well, and I think that's another point is, I don't have a mask on or anything like that. I'm truly here to try to make sure that, like, there's other people here that, are going to hear my voice, of course, but, there's people here that are smaller than me. There's people that are courageous here, and I want to be able to be, like, a comforting force for that, too. Be able to be like, hey, look, there's somebody that, like, is out there, is a little bit wild and wacky, but, like, I'm disarming the fact that I'm like, I'm kind of a big scary dog, and sometimes you need the big scary dog privilege too around here to be able to pull people back. Because when there's like a big dude or something like that getting right up on the front line, sometimes we worry, like, what's going to happen? Is somebody going to, like, throw a punch or something like that? And a lot of us, we talk about it, like, we know that this is all an excuse, like, all this violence. The deportations have been happening throughout many administrations. This is really just a show of force to be able to get us riled up and to be able to show that we can't be controlled, and so they need to control us with martial law and honestly take over the government that they're failing to hold up. Right now we have it stacked up with YouTubers that are currently turning it into kleptocracy, even scamming their own people left and right as they take on all sorts of weird abstract funding. You see it with the cryptocurrency bullshit.
And I'll point out that we just got our first trillionaire in the world today. Elon Musk became a trillionaire when you talk about that kleptocracy. And you also see it in action here, the way that we have privatized our immigration system and immigration prisons, prison camps, concentration camps through groups like Geo Group. And talking about Geo Group, earlier we watched a car come out. A guy got out of the car when the protesters stopped or tried to protest the car going through. Driver got out and said, "I'm not ICE. I'm with Geo Group."
Oh, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. What's your message when you hear that expressed by, like, these Geo Group employees are just saying, "I'm doing my job," or maybe people if anybody from of a MAGA persuasion is hate watching this stream right now, and they're just like, "Oh, those people, ICE is just doing their job protecting us, or Geo Group's just doing their job." What's your message in response to that?
All right, I don't want to be a cliche, but, what did they say about the Nazis again? What do you think they're going to say about this when they're letting children die in cages? Come on. Get fucking real. That's it.
Discord, anything else you would want to add while you've got this platform?
Well, I would also say that all these concentration camp officers and all these people taking the money for ICE and everything like that, which they're going to have to pay back in full, with full gross pre-tax, that's going to fuck them up. A lot of these concentration camp guards back in the 40s, they killed themselves. This eats your fucking soul, people. You are harming people every single day. You are being accountable. You are going to be held accountable for the fact that you are standing side by side with people harming other people every day. If it's your day off, it's other people's day on to harm people. And you are still going to be held accountable for that. And I want you to understand that just because you're not the one doing it, you're watching it. And you could be stopping it if you're there. And if you're not, you're probably going to kill yourself in the long run. Because you're going to wake up thinking about that every single night. And if you're doing it, I have no idea what the hell could be wrong with you. But if you ever find that out, definitely killing yourself.
And Discord pointing out the long-term grappling that we as a society and people involved in this inhumane practice, the ICE and private encampments that we have built across this country, the long-term fallout from this that we are going to have to grapple with as a society to ever come back from that. But that is a story for another day, and there will be a lot of days to talk about it if we ever get that day where there is real justice done. Discord, thank you very much for talking to me, man. I appreciate it.
I hope to keep seeing you out here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank
I
you
really
for coming
appreciate
out.
it. Really
And
appreciate
everybody else, if you can get out here and get to the concentration camp in the city near you, because that's fucking happening. Stop it. We need to stop it.
Discord, thank you very much. Thank you. John, I want to run over and try and grab one of the organizers from this event just to talk them through real quick. If you want to hang on the mic for just a second.
From Jersey to Mexico. All these walls have got to go. From Jersey to Mexico. From Jersey to Mexico. All these walls have got to go. All these walls have got to go. ICE, KKK. ICE, KKK. IOF, they're all the same. IOF, they're all the same. ICE, KKK. ICE, KKK. IOF, they're all the same. IOF, they're all the same. Chinga la migra. Chinga la migra. Chinga la migra. Viva Palestina. Viva Palestina. Viva Palestina. Viva Palestina. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Delaney, we will liberate. Delaney, we will liberate. Delaney, we will liberate. Delaney, we will liberate. Free our prisoners, free them all. Free our prisoners, free them all. Break their chains and let them fall. Break their chains and let them fall. Free our prisoners, free them all. Free our prisoners, free them all.
All right. Want to start just by acknowledging something that I step away from the camera here for just a minute, and you guys couldn't see it because John had lifted the camera up above his head, but he was posing for photos below his camera. So I step away, and John Farina starts getting the paparazzi treatment out here. But I am standing here with Nicholas. Nicholas, can you tell me what organization you are with, if any?
Yes, I'm with the Diaspora Palante Collective.
And what work does your organization do?
Yeah. So the Diaspora Palante Collective, what we do is we're a Puerto Rican socialist anti-imperialist organization that fights for the independence of Puerto Rico from U.S. colonialism, really. We're based here in the diaspora in New York and New Jersey, as well as all over the country.
I don't think it takes a genius to figure out how this is part of that imperialist project. But please, for an audience that might not be so well read on these issues, or is just tuning in for us tonight, on a lark, or just hearing about some of the violence that's been happening out here, inform people, how is this part of a broader imperialist project?
Right. So this imperialism that we're facing as Latinos, there's a deep connection between us and our entire continent, all of our peoples. And this war that's being waged against immigrants is really a war on all people of color, on black, brown, and even poor, and even working class white folks who you see are being shot and killed in these streets, defending people, oppressed people. So as Puerto Ricans, we understand we're in a unique position. We have American citizenship. We know a lot of our folks are not ending up as in these detention centers. But that's not the point. The point is the people that look like us. They look like us. They speak our language. We can easily end up in these detention centers because at the end of the day, the white supremacists, the fascists, they see all of us as the same. So this is our struggle.
And just to underscore what Nicholas is saying there, when we were on the ground for 2 months in Chicago, when John was on the ground in Charlotte, when I was on the ground with John in Minneapolis for 2 months, in all of these cities where we've watched these immigration crackdowns play out, it has just been a profiling action in all of them. That is who ends up getting picked up. And they don't bother to check first if you are here legally or not. Sometimes, but other times they just take the approach of, we're going to grab you first and foremost, and then we'll work it out later after we've already dehumanized and detained you for maybe hours or even days. Then we'll figure out if you really need to be here. John and I were in a car in Minneapolis. We were following an ICE convoy. We watched them pull up on a young man, young boy, couldn't have been older than 15, 16 years old. They pulled up on him. He's just standing outside of his house, jumped out of unmarked vehicles, grabbed him, wanted to see his immigration papers. He says, I've got proof of citizenship inside the house. If you'll let me go get it. They said, we're not going to let you go inside the house. So they just grabbed him, teenage kid, threw him in the back of the car. Parents wouldn't have known where he was. Family wouldn't have known what happened to him. And he was disappeared into the immigration system. That ends up becoming part of the propaganda that the Trump administration puts out, because they saw some of the video of that incident taken by us and other journalists, and then used that on social media. The administration did to really bolster and buoy what they were doing. Nicholas, I apologize for that long aside, but just to bolster what he is saying there about just the profiling action that is done, and that is why you see yourself as being part of a multicultural, alliance, a working class movement here meant to resist what is happening out here. And sorry, there was just some distraction here because we are standing right along a very busy street, and so there are vehicles coming by very fast, very close to people, and we're trying to be sure that everybody is safe as well. So, Nicholas, when it comes to actually resisting, locally, like Delaney Hall, but there are versions of Delaney Hall all across this country, what are the tactics that your organization is advocating for? How do we begin to dig ourselves out of the fascistic hole that America has dug itself?
Right. So I think the first thing that we work on is putting the information out there. You'd be shocked at how many people within the cities that these detention centers are based in have no idea that what's going on here. In Newark, a lot of folks don't even know about Delaney Hall. First step is educating them about these issues. One of the things that our organization did, along with some of the other organizations you heard tonight, Black Alliance for Peace and Community Movement Builders, we had a rally in Newark, so out away from this area, for remembering an vigil for Gene Wilson Brutus, who was murdered at this detention center. He was a Haitian migrant, and he was murdered here. And they still won't release the details on what exactly happened, just stating that he died somehow. So we are trying to bring the information of what's happening at these detention centers back to the city. That's the first thing. The second thing is organizing with the people who are being directly affected in these communities. There are organizations that we've been working with, Cosecha, who also spoke today, the Progressive Labor Party, who are deeply connected with the women and men who are being directly impacted by these detentions and have family members going through these systems. So we have to be on the ground supporting them, supporting their families, raising funds for their legal support, as well as providing mutual aid for them when they want to come and visit, and making sure that they're safe. So those are some of the things that we've been doing.
Yeah, education being such an important one. You bring up some of those stories of people who have died inside this facility, like Gene. But I want to point out that it's not just him, that is not just this facility. It is happening so many places across this country to so many people. There are signs posted on some of the telephone poles out here that perhaps we'll take a moment to show you a little bit later, of the faces and the names of people who have died in ICE's custody. You've heard about Renee Good and Alex Preddy, but they are the tip of the iceberg. So many more people are just dying inside of ICE's care, Geo Group's care, at concentration camps, just like this. Nicholas, how long have you been coming out here, being part of these demonstrations?
So our group so far has been out here since the beginning, really. We've been out here probably about 4 to 6 times. We have different members rotating in and out. We also have, folks to support us. So we have a good organization and good support here on the ground. And I think what some of our members have seen is escalation, right? Mostly on the police's side, and state violence targeting the really peaceful protesters. And we don't really, it's kind of been random. We don't really know what to expect. You don't know when they're going to come after you, when they're going to be aggressive towards you. Just tonight, we've seen, there's been shouting back and forth, but we've seen much worse. One of our comrades was out here when they were kettling folks on that night. And so, it's been hectic for us. It's been dangerous, but we're going to keep showing up because it's our duty, really.
And I'm impressed by, we're in day 21 of the hunger and labor strike here at Delaney Hall. Delaney Hall's story goes back further than just the hunger and labor strike, of course. It has been out here in an ongoing issue, but I am impressed by the amount of organizing to keep all of these people. I mean, there are dozens and dozens out here tonight on a night when, the U.S. is playing in the World Cup. It is a Friday night, like people have things that they could be doing. They are choosing to be here and putting their bodies literally on the line in vehicles that are speeding down this road, and the force that you were just alluding to from police inside, coming out and ICE agents coming out and brutalizing folks. When you see those scenes play out of all of that violence, and you see all of the people still coming out to meet that with peaceful protests, what do you feel?
To me, that inspires courage and hope. I mean, this is what we're here for. We're here to build this movement of people who are willing to sacrifice, whether it be small sacrifices or large sacrifices, like risking your life, really, to come out here and support other folks. We don't know each other, right? We don't know, like I said, it's a lot of us in our group, we don't have direct connections to those who are being detained here, but we're still showing up in solidarity, and we're going out of our way to make those connections because it's important for us, and if we want to move forward and build a future for really not just ourselves, but our future generations. And that's really what we're here to do. To me, it inspires courage and hope. And those are two very important things to have when in today's society, when you have a fascist government that really seeks to repress and hurt people's, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally.
You spoke a lot to the work that your organization is doing here in Newark and New York and New Jersey, but there's going to be a lot of people watching our stream. We're a national program, so there's going to be people who aren't in this area. What would you encourage those folks to be doing if they feel like your message is resonating with them? What would you tell them to do as next steps?
We always say organize. Get involved with an organization. Get in touch with a local organization. If you don't have an organization, start an organization. One of the most important lessons to learn from these movements is that it cannot be done alone. It has to be done in groups. And you have to, if you're in an area where there's not many groups, you have to start forming groups, building those connections, getting out of your comfort zone, and that's a sacrifice that you can start making, a small one. But it's about just building that community.
We're at the 1-year anniversary of when 4 people who were held here in this camp. I heard the protesters use the language of self-liberated, which I like, rather than escaped. But you had 4 people self-liberated or escaped from this camp, and that was what the event out here was meant to commemorate and then build upon. In what ways?
JT, I think he's got to run.
Oh.
You want to finish up?
Yeah. So, Nicholas, just what does that symbolism mean to you?
Yeah. So what we came out here today was to commemorate that liberation, and that was a liberation of 50 people. Again, an organization of people. Where only 4 were able to make it out, but that was 4. That's all that matters. Was that 4 people were able to liberate themselves. That liberation tells us that it's possible to fight back against ICE. It's possible to fight back and survive and free yourself. That these people are not gods and they're not unbeatable. There's no such thing as an unbeatable army. Never such thing in any time in history. They want to think of themselves as unstoppable, but they're not. And that's what this anniversary teaches us. They're not unstoppable. And that's what we're here to commemorate.
Nicholas, thank you so much. Anything else you would want to add while you have the platform?
No, I just want to say I think everyone should get organized. Now is one of the most important times to really be fighting for your communities and your people in this country, because they're not going to relent unless we show some resistance.
Nicholas, thank you, man. I really appreciate the time. Appreciate it. All right.
JT, we got some cars coming out, so maybe we want to get on the goggles.
Yeah. John is telling me that we've got cars coming out, so I'll probably want to put on goggles here because we are nearly at that 10 o'clock shift change time here for Geo Group employees. And when all of these vehicles start to come out, that is also when we start to see a lot of violence from the ICE agents inside. So excuse me for just a moment while I get my goggles on. And John, if we could get just a little bit closer, I just want to show the ribbon that they have mounted across the entrance. So this is the entrance to Delaney Hall right here, and they have this ribbon set up across that. Yeah, the protesters have put up this ribbon here across the entrance / exit to and from Delaney Hall, and it's just meant to be a symbol of their nonviolent protests against the coming and going of ICE vehicles and Geo Group vehicles as well. The goal here is just to have that symbol of we don't want anyone to cross, because the protesters don't always get in front of every vehicle. They want some sort of symbol of their resistance to the federal government, and its mission that it is conducting out here. So they've put up this ribbon, but Geo Group, earlier before we went live, Geo Group security, every time a vehicle needed to exit, were coming up and ripping up this ribbon, and you can see points along this ribbon where it has been tied back in places that are not so along it, where they have had to re-secure it over and over again. This is a repeat thing, and it's such a symbol, the way the Geo Group employees just come out, the Geo Group security guards come out and just rip apart everything here, or the way a vehicle just drives across and snaps it in half. Yep, and the protesters are getting themselves in a position because there are vehicles that are getting ready to come out here. So John and I are getting on our respirators and goggles here. And this is just in case that there is any pepper spray in the air or tear gas used, that we can continue to breathe and report on everything that's happening. So if you've been with us this long, thank you. If you're at this point in the stream where we're getting ready to put our own bodily safety on the line here to be able to cover the ongoing protests out here. Oh, and here we see the ICE agents coming out, and I'm getting behind John and putting my arm on his shoulder just to be able to guide him out. And you see out there an entire squadron here. They're dressed entirely in military-esque garb, this paramilitary force. You see them advancing quickly here. Some of the protesters have linked arms, and immediately pepper spray here and pepper balls being fired at the feet of the protesters. Pepper spray into the eyes of the protesters. That force immediate, just because protesters were daring to stand in a public street.
I had to watch the fucking traffic, direct this shit, and then come in and whip this fucking bullshit. That's all it is. Fuck.
And you see here the ICE agents have made a little path here for these Geo Group vehicles, which are presumably Geo Group employees, to move through.
Thank you. Some sense today. God damn, man, we don't have to get on the fucking street too.
Hey, are you carrying
Some pussy ass shit, man. Fuck
a corporation that held slaves inside their building, and the federal government is guarding
Well, what I really want you to pay attention to is the way these agents are dressed. You'd be forgiven for thinking that they were National Guard or military based on the camo, the need for camo apparently, out here at Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey.
every fucking night.
Free country in the fucking world, and you are a mass agent kidnapping people. Wearing my fucking uniform, bringing shame to it. Unfucking real. Just you wait. There's going to be charges for aggravated assault and attempted murder. We got you on camera pushing people into oncoming traffic. Mikey Sherrill, fucking mayor, where are you? Where are the fucking charges against these people?
When you say they're bringing shame onto
when you say they're bringing shame onto your uniform?
Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. This man's wearing my fucking uniform, bringing a fucking disgrace to everything that it stands for. Everything that it stands for. In the land's most free country in the world, you're going to stand there wearing my uniform, masked up, kidnapping people. And you're going to try and tell me that you represent a free America? I don't fucking think so. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to everything that fucking uniform stands for.
What was your uniform? Did you serve in the service? Or
yeah, New Jersey Army National Guard.
Army National Guard. These are ICE agents, but
yeah,
they
you're
sure
right.
look like...
Why the fuck are they wearing my uniform? Because they're trying to cosplay being something more than they are.
Fucking so stupid and weird. That's what you are. You're stupid and fucking weird. You're fucking stupid motherfuckers.
And you're doing it cosplaying as me. As an actual fucking veteran.
And now we're seeing Geo Group employees, the shift leaving. Vehicles are going the other direction because the shift that was just finishing is now heading out of the building.
And kidnap them. With a paintball gun and fucking, what are those? Converse?
J. Crew chinos.
You're a fucking joke. You're actually disgusting. All 3 feet of you. All fucking 3 feet of you. This guy doesn't even understand. They're coming after you next. You and your family, they're coming after you next.
Why would he be out here?
I actually serve this country. What the fuck are you doing? Kidnapping people. Committing crimes against humanity behind these fucking doors.
Everyone fucking hates you! 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 Everyone fucking hates you!
Justice is coming!
Now the agent's pulling back.
Fucking coming for you.
Fucking hold hands and walk back in! Fucking buddies! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Unfuckable pieces of
Fuck
shit!
you!
Fucking hold hands!
Spray me in the face, coward! Spray me in the face, coward! Okay, coward.
Agents just yelled out, stay behind the yellow line or you're trespassing. There's a yellow line painted on the ground.
You have no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens, bitches!
Epstein Army, right? That's what you guys are, a fucking Epstein
Get on the right side of history, you bitch!
One of the protesters yelling through a megaphone, you guys are Epstein's army.
Fucking pussy! No one here's all you bunch of bitches!
Yeah, agents coming back out, yelling to clear the road.
We're getting excited about something, guys.
This is the most untrained group of fucking retards I have ever seen in my entire life. That is fucking pathetic. How much do you guys make a year? Against unarmed protesters. Unarmed protesters. You fucking pussies. You fucking pussies. I see you, you little midget.
You're a fucking disgrace to this country.
Add up the salaries of all of those agents that are brought out here just to push these protesters into traffic. And add up all of the money it costs to outfit them and equip them.
Part of a fascist military. Fucking round up fucking brown people paid by the fucking people of the country to put them in this fucking slave system.
How could all of that money be spent in other ways in the United States? How many people could be given housing? How many people could be given health care? How many people could be given education? For that.
You don't even know what the fucking Constitution is, right?
fucking wow.
Fuck you! Get in your fucking case, assholes!
Support ICE, motherfucker! Real men!
Fuck out of New Jersey!
Fuck fucking change!
Go home, you fucks! Kill yourselves!
Women die!
Fuck you!
Fuck ICE!
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 No justice!
No peace!
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 Fuck ICE!
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 We put ourselves right there, right next to all of the pepper balls and pepper spray that was flying through the air. Yeah.
That's ICE HSI.
Put ourselves right there on the front lines for that because we believe in bringing you that on-the-ground perspective. John, if we could just hop across the street really quick, just to reset for a minute. Yeah. And now the protesters are be sure that they're doing all right. Whew. A little bit of excitement there in the night.
Oh, okay.
And if getting that on-the-ground perspective is important to you, please, it is hard work to do that. You're asking a lot of us. John and I both have kids that we go home to or we would like to keep going home to at the end of these days and the ends of these reporting trips. But we do it because we believe the mission that we are engaged in out here is important. If it's important, and by the way, the reason that I call out statuscoup.com place to go rather than subscribing through YouTube, which you certainly can, no fault for you if you do that. The only benefit to us if you go through statuscoup.com is that you go to statuscoup.com/join, is that then we have your email because we challenge corporate power out here, the corporate backing for this entire project that the Trump administration has. And make no mistake, there is a ton of it. There is a ton of it. How many different tech oligarchs in this country are contributing to Donald Trump's ballroom right now, all to buy and curry favor with the administration? So make no mistake, that is part of the backing of this project. And at any point, those oligarchs could choose to, Google could at any time, just turn off our YouTube channel, just end it. And we would have no way to tell you, if you're not subscribed through statuscoup.com or subscribe to our Substack, we would have no way of letting you know where we went, how you could see more of us, how we could continue to offer and do this mission. So that's why I say statuscoup.com/join. Some of the pepper is still in the air here, getting into my throat. But just to reset for a moment, if you joined us during that chaos, we are here outside of the Delaney Hall ICE prison camp in Newark, New Jersey. This is a concentration camp in full view. It is day 21 of the ongoing hunger and labor strike out here, where the detainees inside are undertaking that hunger and labor strike as a way to protest the inhumane conditions that they are being subjected to inside by a private corporation, Geo Group, that runs this detention camp on behalf of the Trump regime. Sorry, and that pepper is really affecting me. So I'm going to try and take a drink of water here. Apologize for doing this on camera. But after I've been talking so long, and once you start to get pepper in your windpipe, got to refresh a little bit. Whew. So, another thing that I wanted to do while I'm thinking about it is to honor some of the super chats that we have. Some of the super chats that we're getting here, and I thought that I had gotten them, but Colin, if you're watching, no, I'm not getting these texts that you're trying to send me of the super chats to react to. I'm getting your other texts, but I'm not getting the ones of the super chats because I want to engage with our YouTube audience. So I'm going to pull up the YouTube chat right now to interact with all of you here. I want to call out Mike664, who just gave $1.99 and said, "For the paycheck, G. Soros." This is probably where I should say Status Coup and any of its affiliates do not take money from George Soros, and that is just right-wing conspiracies and talking points, but a funny joke from Mike nonetheless. Mike, thank you very much for that money. I saw that you had given us some more earlier in the stream as well, but trying to get some of that information, some of that Status Coup, some of those super chats to us. And, oh, Colin's emailing it to me. What a smart idea, Colin. Let's see here. Well, it's kind of it's bad form to just have dead air as I try to check my messages to be able to interact with you folks. So while I wait for Colin's emails to come through, so I can actually interact with you guys, I'll keep reacting to what I see in the YouTube chat right now, which is that Monica Rodriguez 7541 sent one Status Coup News gift membership. We really appreciate that. Monica, you're giving the gift to anyone who wants to try and take advantage of that gift membership to get the benefits of our membership, of being a Status Coup member and feeling good about supporting independent, on-the-ground, progressive journalism, investigative justice journalism in this country. Much appreciated. John Farina back behind the camera now, joining me again. Welcome back, John. So thank you all for the support that you have been offering us here as we have been live here on this on the stream. We really appreciate it. What's that? I just had some, but I will take a little bit more, John, if you would be willing to just give me a moment.
Yeah, you can put it down for a second. Oh.
Finally got some of these super chats that I can react to here. Man, that pepper is on the air, and I forgot how much those pepper balls suck. Whew. Tear gas, I feel like I can handle at this point. Pepper balls suck, man. So, Mills6943 gave us $10 and said, "Thank you, Status Coup, for continuing to be there." And then reacted with some emojis. Thank you so much, Mills. We really appreciate those kind words. When we get on a story, we stick with that story. I am still in communication with people on the ground in Chicago and Minneapolis from documenting those ICE crackdowns over the last several months and year here, and we stick with these stories, and we will continue to go back to these communities and tell the stories in these communities of how they are still dealing with ICE crackdowns, by the way, that just because, a lot of the media leaves and ICE likes to, downplay its presence a little bit, does not mean that some of it's happening here. And we're hearing investors are moving, so we're packing up. No? Some confusion in the group right now as to whether or not something is actually happening at the far end. John and I are going to set up here. There's two entrances in and out of Delaney Hall. There's the main one that we've been outside of this, the majority of the stream.
Usually it's been GeoStaff using this one,
yeah,
and then ICE using that one, but now I think they're alternating.
Yeah, as John is reporting, usually that entrance we were just by is used by Geo Group staff, and then there's another entrance here primarily used by the ICE agents. But we heard some whistle blowing over here, and so what we're doing is setting up now in between those two entrances. That we are in a position to react no matter where the story is. We will be in a position to get it here. And then I also want to give another thanks to Mike664, who said, "We the people will not recognize blanket pardons for crimes against humanity." And Mike, what I assume you're making reference to there is the possibility that Trump, on his way out, when that happens, would try and issue blanket pardons for all ICE agents. But as John is saying behind the camera, editorializing back there, saying he doesn't give a shit about them, I would tend to say that John is right, that they are being used right now and may end up being discarded, which could be good for a sense of justice, that some of these agents could be, potentially tried for any crimes that they put on here. But, John wants to jump on the mic.
What I have been saying is that eventually they know they're not going to need humans to do their job, because they're building up the AI database. We're going to have drone surveillance and robots. So eventually these guys are just going to be discarded, be thrown in jail. So right now they're just being used to build up the billionaires' digital prison for all of us.
Cheery thoughts from John Farina, the John Farina corner there. Thank you, John. We're watching, looks like another Geo Group employee likely going in through the entrance down this way, though not a lot of resistance in terms of the protesters. The protesters are now divided between the two entrances, and that's why, again, we're here in between those two entrances just to be able to keep an eye on everything that is happening out here. Emily Sigmund, 1255, gave us $5 Canadian and said, "Stupid floaty money." I don't know what that means. Emily. I want to be able to interact with you since you gave us $5 Canadian dollars. But I don't know what you mean by stupid floaty money. But thank you all the same for your support. We appreciate that. And then Lewis Highsmith, 6015, gave us $10 and said, "The destruction of our Constitution is led by MAGA elected officials, 6 members of SCOTUS, and corporate Democrats." I mean, if ever there was a summation of the status quo outlook on the political happenings in the United States, I would say that that was a pretty good mission statement for us. Mike664 again gave us $4.99 and said, "No man in a free country should be denied the right to counsel or a fair trial, John Adams." And isn't that true? But we're not allowing that sentiment to carry or be true for anyone rounded up here, for immigration means. You're just snatched off the street based on the color of your skin, or because you're standing in the wrong place at the wrong time when an ICE agent happens to drive by you and profile you, throws you into detention here, and then they try to force you to self-deport, meaning just torture you until you feel compelled to leave the country as a way to escape your torturers. That is what has happened. We documented it on the ground extensively during those 2 months that we were on the ground in Chicago. And then Mike664, who gave us $9.99 again and said, "I have been ready to think that the passion for liberty cannot be equally strong in the breasts of those who have become accustomed to deprive their fellow creatures of theirs." Abigail Adams. Mike with the quotes tonight. I really appreciate that, Mike. Bringing some intellectual heft and weight to a status quo stream. We appreciate that, and thank you for those sentiments and for your support. Turning back over here, we got another $4.99 from Annette K25, who said, "Thank you, Status Quo, JT John, for taking one for the team." Thank you, Annette, for your support. We greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate that support. And yes, it is not, I wouldn't say that it's, on the one hand, I want to say it's not fun to be out here. It's never fun to get pepper sprayed or hit with pepper balls, or be in a cloud of tear gas, or to just constantly be on the front lines of the administration's authoritarian and fascistic crackdown and spiral into our new hellscape that we seem to find ourselves living in here in the United States. I wouldn't call that necessarily fun, but I also wouldn't be doing this job if I didn't think it was important, if I didn't enjoy the fact that we are able to actually call out the bullshit for what it is and not have to be another corporate cog journalist. love to be a part of something where I don't have to do any of that, and thank you all for making that possible. Again, statuscoup.com/join if you want to continue to make a real people-powered news movement here in the U.S. a possible and attainable dream for at least one outlet here at Status Coup, lifting up the voices of actual people. We're watching some vehicles come out here, them moving the gates. So we're going to make our way back over that direction, see if there is any challenge here from the protesters. There is some there. You see that they've stopped the vehicle. I'm looking a little bit deeper into the facility just to see if I see any movement of ICE agents coming out. I don't see any as of right now. Though I'll say that the vehicle is not fully blocked. If they wanted to move forward more, they certainly could, and they are attempting to do so a little bit. And they are going to move past those protesters and then out into the street. But you see, they're the protesters doing what they, the message that they've come to deliver, which is not that no one is ever allowed to pass. It is just about making the operations here for the Trump administration, for Geo Group, that little bit more inconvenient, that little bit harder as a way to try and dissuade them. And John pointing out there, make the Geo Group employees, make the ICE agents think about the jobs that they are doing and the impact that they are having on the world. Think in that moment of, do I really want to continue doing this? Coming to work this way every day. And I think the protesters would see that as a win if they knew that any Geo Group employees were, making other decisions in terms of their employment because of the, proverbial sand that they are throwing in the machine out here by being out here and demonstrating in the way that they are. And of course, the other goal just being about getting attention that this is something that is happening in the United States. Delaney Hall is just one of many of these concentration camps that exist here in the United States of America. This is just a reality that we have built up. John, I'm going to try and find somebody, there's one person I had in mind.
Hope everyone's doing well. Last night while I was out here recording the violence that ICE came out, you guys might have saw the footage, the video that we posted earlier. Last night, a man was released. He came out. I didn't film it because I didn't know if he was comfortable with his identity being shown. But he said he was in there for about a month and a half in Delaney Hall. He was from the Florida Keys. He doesn't know why he was brought here. Yeah, that was his story. He was let go and he had to find the bus to try and get back to Florida. But here's JT again. Hold on.
Yeah, John, if we could pivot the camera around. Perfect.
Are we good now?
Anything that you guys know you want me to set you up to do?
Okay, cool.
Are we just talk about last night? I believe this
Okay.
down right.
We're good.
So I guess just talk about last night.
Yeah, we're back.
All right, we're back?
Yep.
All right, guys. So can I first get you, for our audience's sake, can I get you to just introduce yourselves?
I'm Casey.
I'm known as Danny.
Casey and Danny, thank you both for being with us here. I'm here to talk. We're here kind of showing, what's happening out here tonight, but I want to talk about what happened last night.
Yeah.
For wherever you feel like that story begins to wherever you feel like it ends, can you just kind of give us a summation of what happened out here last night?
We had gone, I think, 3 days without any escalation, and this was the first night that there had been an escalation where Newark PD didn't show up.
Yeah.
Which, cool.
Immediately, like 10 minutes after, they'll come and
Yeah,
like arrest somebody.
Yeah,
It's
like you'll be like,
fucking
I thought you guys
ridiculous.
weren't working together, and then they are. But like last night, like they didn't show up, and it was like, okay, cool. But anyway, we're trying to do what we are doing out here, and so what we'll do is we'll link arms, and Danny and I were linking arms, and there were maybe 5 of us deep. We were past their little line.
It wasn't even aggressive.
Okay. Well, I was scared. But
That's
yeah.
not what I meant. I meant like we weren't being super
aggressive. And they just basically, and we also, like, we weren't blocking the entire exit. Like, there was like 5 of us. And they just came and shoved. They just came and shoved me and Danny, and I stayed linked. They shoved us again. They then sprayed, what is it? OC? The orange stuff, the OC spray, which is not, that's the difference there with pepper spray.
It's a degree.
It's like they use it on horses or some I don't know. Someone was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, God.
I can tell you they both suck.
Yeah. Okay, well, so they sprayed into my eyes. I turned around. I went back to help Danny. Obviously, what am I going to do? And they sprayed my hair, which then the water... Anyway, my entire body was covered in pepper spray. It was excruciating, but that's what they're doing to the people in there, and that's why we're out here.
Yeah, we're pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, we're pissed.
Yeah, we're pissed. But we want to be organized and pissed.
Yes.
And we want to be safe and pissed as well. But, you know, we're here to be pissed. At the end of the day.
Danny, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but you've got some gnarly scrapes and scratches across your forehead. Can you tell us the story behind those?
Yeah, there's some weak ass punches in the knee. That's it. And it's mostly the concrete. It wasn't anything special from their end, I'll tell you that.
So what happened though to lead up to it mostly being the concrete? Like what happened? Walk me through it.
So all I did was put my hand up. But since he's a federal agent, absolutely, they were charging us. They was going after her. I put my hand up. And as soon as that happens, you know, you're assaulting. I'm not assaulting anybody. That's what they're going to say.
Not. We are unarmed.
A federal officer, technically. All right? And then as soon as that happens, it's 3 guys on me, and I'm trying to stand up, and then I'm on the ground. As soon as I'm on the ground, they're going to want to roughhouse me. So they drag me up and fucking put me face in the ground. And put me face in the ground. I got to watch my words because my voice is shot. They put my face in the ground. And the dude wanted to take a shot at me. So he took a shot, and he got a weak-ass knee in there, too. That's it. And then they just kept my face in the fucking concrete. So that's what you're seeing these scrapes over for.
And then
that's most of the... Exactly.
They arrested him.
They
detained
him. Detained.
Which is insane. There was 5 of us, 3 of us girls, and they just fucking came in hot. And we were past the property line. They are the aggravators out here. They are the aggravators out here. And today started after all these allegations are coming out from the detainees, the female detainees, of sexual violence against them from GEO Group members. Today, whoever's guarding this part of GEO Group, that like fenced in, you can't see in there, has been catcalling and talking shit to women all day today. Specifically me.
Women.
And
me, because I talk the most shit to him. I make him shut the fuck up because he's a good little boy. And Ian as well. Ian goes after his ass too. He's a cuck. He hides behind his cuck curtain. That's what I'm going to call it. And we walk him down. He likes to put on his leash. He likes to go for a short little walk. And then he does a little fuss at the end of it when I leave him. And then he'll leave. Yeah.
But anyway, the GEO Group employees are nightmares. I mean, like this, whatever's going on here, it has to stop. It's a nightmare.
So, Danny, the agents tackle you to the ground. They use it as an opportunity to throw a punch, to beat the shit out of you.
Essentially, that's what they wanted to do, but they didn't.
And then they detain you. How long are you detained? What are they saying to you while you're in there?
I would say the whole experience was less than an hour. It's like a normal detainment procedure when you're going like through. I don't know if anybody's ever been arrested, but you know they bring you back. They'll put you in a fucking area, and then they'll do the little paperwork, which means that they talk to lawyers to see if you can press charges right then and there. Yada yada yada. You're gonna talk to a medic in there. That's gonna give you an observation or to document whatever injuries that you have in there, and you're gonna talk to the other people that read your rights, like your Miranda rights and stuff like that. Because technically they're a federally sanctioned building, so they can arrest you and they can charge you. So that's what they do. But as soon as you're in there, those ICE agents will not fucking talk to you. You have to go straight. Well, maybe me, but they didn't talk to me because I be talking my shit. But other than that,
they're picking targets based on the day. We're out here all fucking day in 90 degrees in the beating sun, and like this part of Newark, like it sucks out here, and they're harassing us and they're acting insane, and then they will talk shit because we're allowed to. It's our First Amendment right. And then they come out and based on who was talking shit, they will assault you. And then we are called violent agitators. We're accused of being George Soros funded. Like, I'm a small business owner who's losing money to be here. And this whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm wondering where the hell the governor of New Jersey is.
Casey, you were saying that, you know, it was you and a few other girls that the agents were coming up to that led up to you getting, you know, tackled and then beat up and then taken inside. Why did they, you know, you say that they pick people out based on the day. Why did you feel like you were being singled out in that moment?
You'll notice, like, when you're, like, you know, confronting or standing in front of them, that, like, they'll kind of be like, da-da-da, and, like, point at you. We also know that they're watching our social media. They're watching this right now, probably inside.
I can confirm that. ICE are big fans, and the Department of Homeland Security, big status coup fans. Greg Bavino, if you're watching right now, please consider subscribing and supporting independent progressive journalism. We appreciate it. But they have watched our stuff, they have clipped it, and they have used it for their own propaganda. So to back up, yes, they do watch and see everything.
Really come out. I mean, I firmly believe that they assaulted Ian that night to get propaganda for DHS social media. Like, the whole thing out here is crazy. We got to get these people out of here.
But you were starting to say, like, you could see them pointing at you.
They'll point at you. They'll talk their shit. Like, you know, they don't really actually say that much. I don't think that they're particularly intelligent people, or like that they can really, you know, do all of that like we can. But like, they'll point at you and they'll make sure that you feel targeted and that you like kind of like to kind of intimidate you. But it's also, I think, like, again, based on the social media of it all, like, some of us are putting our faces out there. I mean, I have nothing to be ashamed of being out here. I have been assaulted multiple times. So has he over the last several weeks. We have not assaulted anybody.
Yeah, I hope that someone doesn't give me a fucking job because I'm here being a good fucking person. I swear to, like, just please.
We have nothing to be ashamed of out here.
Like, please, honestly.
Is that something that's in the back of your mind, a concern?
No. No, I'm just saying.
But like, you don't want that job anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that's indifferent to this, or just like this, what's going on in here, like, needs national attention, and we need boots on the ground.
Let's focus on that for just a moment. I don't want, you know, I've been talking to the protesters about what's been happening outside. It's visual, like, people see what's happening outside, but it's all about what's happening inside. Let's talk about what were the things that you're hearing about inside that inspired you to be here outside of the facility. Why did you want to be standing out here tonight?
I mean, for me personally, I was a content creator with Mikey Sherrill's campaign. I had called her a cop on TikTok. It went viral. I ended up working with her team. We wanted a Democrat to win, vote blue no matter who. And, I have a lot of clients at my hair salon who are children of undocumented immigrants, who are undocumented themselves. And I told people who could vote to go vote for Mikey Sherrill because I thought she was going to keep New Jersey safe from this. And so now I feel a personal responsibility to advocate against it. And also, you get out here, you hear people's stories, and you're like, I got to be out there tomorrow because this is fucking crazy. So anyway, that's my spiel.
Danny, what about for you?
Instagram. People posting. Seeing people I did, like, the journey in 3 days. I was just inspired to be here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you both for your time. Is there anything else you would want to add while you had a platform?
No, subscribe to Cestkowski.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the time. Really appreciate it.
All right, I'm going over here. I'll see you.
Is there an issue? No. Well, how long do you want to be out here yet?
I guess we could wrap it up.
while there's a lull in the action here, I do want to call out the fact that we have been the outlet that has been here on the ground for the entire 21 days of the hunger and labor strike inside. We were here even before the strike began, by the way. You know, we are making reference to that today is a 1-year anniversary of an escape of 4 detainees from inside Delaney Hall. We were live here that day a year ago. John Farina was here on the ground showing the demonstrators who came outside of the facility and documented that experience here on the ground in Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey. So again, when we pick a story, we stay with it. We stay on the ground with it, and that is important to us. It is an important part of our mission. It's an important reason why I wanted to be a part of the Status Coup team. And I want to call out the fact that there's not... The amount of press out here is frustrating. As the night got later, more journalists started to show up. But, you know, when John and I first got here, it was just ourselves, a couple of other independent streamers and, you know, photographers, and that was it. Now we've got a few more, you know, who are there for to grab the photographs. And I've just, sorry for the pause there. It's because I'm reading my messages, and my boss, Jordan Sheridan, is texting me that says, have an important update for you. So he is teasing not only you, our audience at home, but myself as well as the journalist here. I have no idea what this update is. I do want to say that earlier, Jordan did send me the update that many of the Delaney Hall ICE prisoners who were transferred out of here this week, and they were originally sent to Moshannon ICE prison in Pennsylvania. They are now in an Arizona ICE prison per Jordan, and he has been very well sourced on all of this, on everything that has been happening here. As far as... Oh, John telling me that we need to get our stuff on here because, yep, we see a vehicle inside that is approaching the gate.
John says he sees ICE agents as well. I don't spy him just yet, but John might be more eagle-eyed than me. Tough to see beyond the fence. Especially when you're wearing goggles. Oh, yep, I do see the agents out there. Yep.
Stay here for now, and then we're gonna shift this way.
Got it.
All right, just
Yep.
stay behind me.
And you see the ICE agents coming out here, and they seem to be coming out to clear a path for this bus. This is a bus that we were told pulled in around 7 p.m. Eastern time today. And might be carrying more detainees out of the facility. You see the agents coming out there? Some of these protesters have hands up. They're shoving the protesters back. Some of the protesters have linked arms. And there you see that bus coming through now with the bars on the windows. They're firing pepper balls here into the demonstrators.
Nazi assholes! Your mom is disappointed in you.
Everyone fucking hates you! Everyone fucking hates you!
Power!
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 See some of the protesters with hands up, some with middle fingers up as the ICE agents retreat. Seem to be menacing towards some of the protesters here on the right side, but it seems like it's mostly press over here.
Fuck you! The whole fucking world hates you! Fuck you!
Okay, good. You see the ICE agents there flashing flashlights here out into the crowd, yelling repeatedly, "Get back, get back."
Fuck you! Fuck you! Nah, bro, real shit. I fucking.
Chants of "Quit your job" from the protesters.
Quit your job! 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 Quit your job!
All right, go back to the other side.
During that excitement there, we got that update from my boss, Jordan Sheridan, who has been the one who has been on the ground out here reporting for the last several weeks, along with John Farina and William Allen Duprat, out here outside of Delaney Hall. And Jordan's very well sourced about what's been going on inside of Delaney Hall, and that's exactly the update that we have here. And what he tells me is that 300 to 400, that's 300 to 400 prisoners have been transferred out of Delaney Hall over the last 72 hours, and that is explicitly a form of retaliation for these ongoing protests. That's what Jordan says. Now, what I'm assuming he means there by these ongoing protests is not only for these protests outside, but likely also for the protests, and more importantly probably for the protests happening inside, that hunger and labor strike that's been going on for 21 days inside this facility that we have been relentlessly covering out here. This is a way to break up the solidarity of the people being held inside of this prison camp, inside of this concentration camp, a way to break them apart and try to dilute the effectiveness and the will and resolve of these protesters to continue on with these demonstrations. Now, he says that prisoners have been sent to ICE prisons in Louisiana, Colorado, and Arizona, so spreading them out there across the country. And by the way, think about that. People being rounded up here in the New York area. Now suddenly a family that might be without its primary breadwinner. And now that primary breadwinner isn't even within, a driving distance to be able to go see them. They're now out in Colorado. They're out in Arizona. You have no idea how your family member is doing. You have no contact with them. You have no way of getting out to them and talking to them. And you've lost your family's income and ability to support itself. And you came to this country, even if we buy the Trump administration's propaganda that, we're only going after, well, they want to claim the worst of the worst. Fuck that. I mean, that is just demonstrably not true. They're just picking up anyone based on the color of their skin. But even if you want to buy their bullshit that every single person being held in these facilities is, undocumented in some way, these are people who came here because the U.S. interfered in their countries, and we're the ones interfering in just about every country around the world. Iran is just the most prominent example right now, but how many Central and South American countries have we repeatedly destabilized over the last centuries at this point? Intentionally destabilized these countries, made them where it's very difficult to climb the social ladder, to provide a better life for yourselves, for your family, for yourself, and you're being also exported out the American dream. It's being said, Come to America where you can be anyone, you can achieve anything. Promise our capitalist vision for how the world should work is the superior one here in the world. You should be here. And these people come here, and then this is how we treat them. More here from Jordan. Anti-Delaney Hall organizers believe that ICE and Geo Group are trying to essentially empty the prison in order to end the protest and then fill it back up. It is unknown how many prisoners are left in Delaney Hall. Organizers estimate about 400 are left, and it originally had an occupancy of over 1,000. So they've been slowly drawing this down, the intention of dispersing everyone who is engaging in the hunger and labor strike. And, you know, the federal government has some strict rules by which it will call something an ongoing hunger strike. And they keep saying, oh, there's no hunger strike happening. Likely, one, is just like a PR ploy. And then two, as a way to, say, like, technically it hasn't, yet met our definition. And to prevent it from ever meeting that definition, they're trying to ship people out of here. All this to say, we're bringing that to you here first, here on Status Coup. This is not something that you're reading in the New York Times. You're not watching it on CNN. You're hearing it from me, reading it off from my boss, who's just, in his house. We don't have anything fancy. We're just doing the on-the-ground reporting of being out here every day, making these connections to bring you this information. Myself and John Farina. John is a guy with a camera, with a light mounted to the top. I'm a guy with a microphone, and we got Jordan Sheridan doing some of the journalism there from behind the keyboard right now at his home, sending us some of this stuff. It is a small but mighty operation. I should probably throw Colin in there as well, since he is the one who is producing this stream and making sure that, all of our technical difficulties are solved like that. But it's a small ragtag operation that we are now dancing around the competition out here. The competition, the corporate media, the New York Timeses of the world, the Gray Lady, CNN. When you think of the media, CNN's logo is probably the first thing that pops into your mind. These media organizations that have hundreds, thousands of bodies and millions, billions of dollars at their disposal to be able to throw at projects like this, that they could report on what is happening inside of Delaney Hall, and instead waft of pepperball dust. They're not out here subjecting themselves to that. They're probably covering, how the U.S. did against Paraguay today in the World Cup. This what is supposed to be a showcase of American exceptionalism, our ability to host a soccer tournament. Which, hey, don't get me wrong, I love soccer, but Jesus Christ, if that's the thing that we're going to focus on right now, rather than saying, hey, on the one hand, the Trump administration wants to brag about how great the U.S. is for tourist destination and sports, while on the other hand, they are deporting people. They even deported a World Cup referee. Like, how can we not make this the central story that the Trump administration wants to talk about the World Cup, or wants to talk about that, so they're not talking about what is in the Epstein file, so they're not talking about the concentration camps that exist in plain view out here. We are doing it here at Status Coup, and to all of our paid members, I would say hats off, but goggles off to you for supporting us out here and keeping us on the ground. You afforded my plane ticket to be out here. You're going to be paying for my hotel so that I can be out here, my meals so that I can be out here, away from, taking that time away from my wife and daughter who are home without their husband or their dad. My daughter just started saying the word dad right now. I'm not there to hear her say it. I'm getting pixelated videos from my wife because I believe that this is important. And if you believe it is important, if you are not yet a paying member to Status Coup, please go to statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5, $5 a month, 16 cents a day. You go to support this real journalism that is happening here, talking about how a hunger and labor strike against inhumane conditions inside this building, feet behind me right here, the ongoing hunger and labor strike organized by people who are being held inside that concentration camp. The Trump administration is trying to dismantle it, rip apart that solidarity of the people inside, and start anew. Take those people as far from their families as they can across the country, and then stuff this full with another 1,000 people. Another 1,000 people that they can send through our inhumane deportation system here in the United States that is just about inflicting cruelty on people who do not have the right color skin, or are being profiled, or are just standing in the wrong place at the wrong time in order to get picked up. Statuscoup.com. ice.com/join. With that said, we knew that that bus was going to be departing at some time. We had heard that it had arrived shortly before we arrived here this evening, so we were waiting on that bus to depart. And we're very grateful. And of course, I talk about my wife and daughter right now. My wife starts texting me, "Honey, I'm live on air right now. Please." I want to thank all of our members so much for making this possible. But that was sort of the last bit of action that we were expecting tonight. I am going to be here on the ground for at least the next several days. We shall see what happens. John and I are making plans. We have we'll call it an educated, a well-informed hunch that ICE is likely going to be using the fact that the first World Cup games are going to be played here at MetLife Stadium, not far from where we're standing right now. And ICE has traditionally, in some of these other communities that we have covered, they would never do the immigration crackdown at the Chicago Marathon, when that immigration crackdown was really happening in Chicago. It didn't happen at the Chicago Marathon, even though that was happening at the same time. But it would use that event as a cover, as a distraction, to then go out into some of the surrounding communities around Chicago and crack down. In Minneapolis, they never cracked down during when the Vikings were playing football in downtown, but they would go out to some of the suburbs of Minneapolis and use that again as a distraction to try and carry out their agenda. So we're anticipating that something similar is going to happen here in the New York area, because Tom Homan, who is the border czar for the Trump administration, has said he's been reviewing plans for New York. There's been rumblings that there's going to be this crackdown here in the New York area. We're hearing whistles down at the other end again, so John is going to throw on his backpack. But just cluing you in that is some of the action that we are anticipating out here over the next several days. And we're seeing a lot of protesters now move down to the far entrance from where we are standing. Yeah, there's cars coming out of this end, so I wouldn't be surprised if what's actually happening is ICE creates motion down at one end to try and drag some of the protesters away, so that way they can try and split the protesters and get less resistance to what is happening, maybe out at the other gate. So John and I are staying in the middle now, just to carefully watch each of these gates. Carefully watch these gates and see what is going to happen. And we're both going to throw back on. We're both going to throw back on our masks.
Say hi, Dada.
That's exactly what my wife said. So, John was making jokes saying, say hi to Dada. A little dark humor out here. That's how we get through all of this. But it is well past my daughter's bedtime, John. Yep, this gate right here, the one that we have been at for the majority of this time, is now opening. Oh, and now it's closing. And now they are not sure what to do.
ICE is coming! Gates are opening!
And here the protesters are now relaying what's happening at this gate that we're watching down to the protesters who are down at the far gate. And we're seeing a lot of another group of, this looks like mostly press and a few protesters hustling back up towards this gate.
And then they move the goalposts. You don't need that anymore. Yeah.
You guys waiting for backups because 15 of you in full combat gear isn't enough to face off against the peaceful fucking protesters and their voices? You fucking clowns! Gotta wait for backup? It's alright, bud.
I don't have a gas mask.
You can smile when you spray me in the face. It's okay. We know that you smile only to dissociate from the fucking
You can see them shaking up the cans of bear mace. It's that strong. It's as strong as bear mace.
John calling that out on the mic because he's able to see things through the viewfinder of the camera that I can't necessarily from where we're standing. He can zoom in and get those details. But yeah, when they shake up that spray, they're ready to use it, and we've seen them already tonight just come out and immediately use that force. It's hard to get a sense for exactly how many protesters are left because there are some now at both gates here. Here come the agents.
What are you guys coming out here for?
Agents are yelling, "Get out of the street."
That street's not your property.
Which way? Left or right?
Tell everybody's about it. What are they talking about?
Can you make the directions mark?
I guess they're mad that the citizens...
Yeah, John's pointing out that the protesters basically at this point, aside from like the odd news photographer, protesters have basically made already a path for a vehicle to move through if they wanted it to.
They have no jurisdiction here. This isn't their fucking property.
You're only federal. Wait, is there...
All right, yeah, spray me in the face, bitch. I'm not fucking scared of you.
Hold on, please.
You guys have sprayed me, what, like 10 times in the last couple of months?
Wait.
Shot me fucking 6 times, thrown fucking flashbangs at me. We're not fucking scared of you, right? We actually stand for something, right? We're willing to take your fucking bear mace. We're willing to take your fucking AR-15 rounds, right? Because we're not fucking cowards. Because we actually fucking stand for something, right? We didn't join a fucking fascist army and decide to fucking be fucking guys that round up fucking slaves for money, right? To be clear, we are not on their property. We are not in the way of the street. We are not on their property, and we are not in the way of the street. If they come for us right now, that is flagrantly in violation of fucking all U.S. laws. What'd you say, clown?
Just heard one agent yell at that protester standing right there in the all black, yell, "Back the fuck up," as he shook up his can of bear spray, OC spray. More whistles coming out the other end as vehicles are coming out that way. We see that there's at least one vehicle at this end. Yep. And there are vehicles coming out this way that protesters are getting in front of. You see agents have made a agents disperse the protesters here at this end by creating that tunnel here through this gate so that those vehicles could leave. Yeah. And it seems like the gate that we were watching was meant to be a distraction so that vehicles could leave out this end, or perhaps the agents were faking on both ends and then judging by which side would be easier for the vehicles to leave through.
Get the fuck out of New Jersey!
You're not welcome here, fucker!
That's Brandon Cooney. Only one of you showing your hat because you're all fucking bald.
Yeah, that's up the wall.
Gate on this end now closing.
Thank you guys for the work you do.
Oh yeah, thank you. All right, well, I think that was the right call to come over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of called it out there on the stream. John and I are
just... No, I know, they went back in.
Let me just do your thing.
John and I were just kind of comparing notes on what we think happened there, and I think it's very likely that that was a feint by ICE. That they're kind of learning they have these two gates with which they can work to try and distract the protesters from one end to the other. If I were to be a betting man, what I would say there is that they probably had the vehicles somewhere on the far side of the facility ready to go, and then they sent agents to both ends as a way to see, can you split the protesters? Can you create one side that looks, like where it looks easier to get the vehicles out, and then once they've made that determination, they send the vehicles around to that gate. So when the protesters are saying that they want more people out here, what they want is to be able to cover more of the frontage here, to be able to, throw more sand in the machine, not to be so easily divided, or at least those dividing actions not to be so successful. John, do you want to make your way back down there, or are you kind of hanging out here? Yeah. And we have to be very careful as we move around. Yeah, we're coming to the press and media area, which is this concrete block.
And then this is for medics.
And then medics. We want to keep the press and the medics as...
I think the state police put this here, or Newark PD put this here, and then protesters made these.
Yeah. And this was all part of an effort to keep. We'd seen this out at Broadview as well, where there was a designated, the protesters called them free speech zones, out in Chicago, outside of that ICE prison camp, where they wanted media to stand on one side away from the protesters, so you could not interview, talk to, really lift up the voices of those protesters at all. Media has to stand on the other side of the street from them. They tried to implement something very similar here outside of Delaney Hall, where media had to be far away from the action, and the police really tried to push the media to be there. And that is where, we did all kinds of videos on showcasing on how John was pushing back against a lot of that work, against the authorities there, rightly so, for, restraining him from being able to oppose from being able to cover, rather, excuse me. My thoughts are a little scrambled, because it's been a long day now. But where he was being kept from being able to cover the story, he and other journalists. But luckily, he was able to push back and knew his rights, that he doesn't have to stand next to a concrete barricade that says media and press on it. We are not so easily fooled here at Status Quo. Yeah. So at this point, we have been live for over, 2.5 hours at this point. If you've been with us that entire time, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do one more check of our, Colin, if you just want to send me a text, are there more readouts to do here that I should, make some time for you to be able to send through to me? If so, okay, Colin's going to send me some more readouts to do here, because I do like to, when we have the time, it is not always, easy or applicable to be able to do the, doing the thanking of all the members on some of these streams. We've just gotten so many new members that it becomes like prohibitive at a certain point to thank literally everyone. And also sometimes we're just in unsafe situations, but when things are a little calm like this, I like to be able to say thank you to everybody who has supported us in one way or another, whether that be through memberships, through super chats, whatever you're doing to support us financially. I want to be able to call out and thank that, because you're basically just doing it for the love of the game. If you're a member to Status Quo, you do get access to members-only videos. I will call that out. You get to be on our semi-regular members calls that we do on occasion. Yeah, it seemed like the protesters might be reacting here to maybe some of the flashing in these windows that we have seen in the past. I don't see any right now, but the protesters are reacting as though that was just happening, so it could be that we just missed it. But yes, there are benefits to being a Status Quo member aside from just my unending gratitude. So I appreciate that very much. Okay. We've got two more super chats from Mills, 6943, who gave us a total of $15 across those two. Didn't write anything, Mills. I'd be happy to read off whatever you would say, react to it. But in any case, thank you very much. $15 can be a lot. I mean, that's 3 months of Status Quo membership that you just gave right there. So thank you for sustaining us for the next 3 months. yourself. We really, really appreciate that. And then I also want to call out, we got 3 new website members tonight. That is Joshua, Mary, and Stephanie. You guys are going to continue to support us into the future. That is like the best way to support us because it gives us, a base of revenue that we can rely on here at Status Coup. We have been trying to grow the team. We have been successfully growing the team here at Status Coup. I mean, even over just the last year, this team has doubled, tripled in size, something like that. We're busy onboarding a new social media person right now, and it really has allowed us to reach more people, and it's through memberships like that allows us to grow the team. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of John Farina behind the camera, on behalf of Colin Tooley back at home who is running the stream, thank you very much, Colin. On behalf of our other producers, Michelle and Ty, and on behalf of new executive producer Jenny, and on behalf of new social media person Dylan, I got to stop doing readouts for everybody at Status Coup. We're becoming too big of an operation, which I guess is a good. Oh yeah, and Jordan, who signs my paychecks. I should probably thank him as well. Thank you, Jordan, for supporting us and giving us this opportunity to be able to do all this reporting. And thank you to all of our members for being with us. So day 21 of our ongoing hunger and labor strike at one of many concentration camps that exist in the United States. I am JT Cestkowski for Status Coup. Stay safe and good night.